And welcome back, folks, to We'll Take It From Here with Joe and Don. My name's Joe.
And I'm Don.
And you're listening to a show in which two dudes talk about life with the goal to make you think but entertain you. Today we have a great guest for you. It's going to be an awesome fucking show. But before we get to that, Don, where can our viewers and listeners find us?
Yo, what's up, guys? You can watch us on YouTube now, which is really, really exciting, at We'll Take It From Here. You can subscribe, like, comment. That helps us grow the show. It is our goal to get 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I think we're at 50 or 60 right now. So
only 950 to go.
Yeah, exactly. Not a big deal. But we appreciate the support every week. It's so cool to see the show growing, and it's just awesome to have amazing guests on every week and great conversations. So we are doing a segment, Jit Zone, now, as well as our full-length guest segments as well. And we will be adding a mental health segment additionally in the next couple of months, which is really, really excited about. So we just want to provide as much value as possible to anybody listening. And wherever you're listening right now, just do us a solid and rate the show, review the show. That helps us grow the show and get our message out there. But yeah, I'm at Don Shoemaker Jr. Joe is at
Joe Francesco 48.
There you go. And, we'll share our guests' info as well. But that's it. Let's hop into it.
Yeah, without further ado, welcome Steve Martell to the show, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been listening, I'm tuning in. It's great to hear everybody. I feel like I know them better.
Yeah.
I see them at Pure, and I feel like I know them a little better. So
yeah, awesome. Well, everyone's going to now know you a little bit better as well. But you know how the show works, man. We just, you take us through who you are. Go as deep as far as you want. And then from there, we'll definitely, we'll just take it from there. So who's Steve Martell, man, for yeah.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, right? I didn't plan that, by the way, folks. So who's Steve Martell, man?
Right now I'm a police officer in Passaic County, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that for since 2009.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, but it's been a long time. It's been a good career. In my spare time, I train Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a wrestling coach at Caldwell High School. I do a lot of fishing. Love fishing. That's like my passion. Along with wrestling and Jiu-Jitsu, I'm getting better at and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's humble. You're fucking good already.
But other than that, I started wrestling in second grade. So
nice.
I've been, it's just, I don't know, 30 years now maybe. I've been involved with it. I've seen the sport like grow and change, and coaching is way harder than wrestling. Trying to get in the minds of these kids, especially kids nowadays, because I'm starting to feel that old man disconnect from the high school kids, and I'm like, man, this is getting tougher, But
wait, how old are you though?
I'm 36.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not that old, but
no.
Like I still wrestle them, So I still get.
Shit.
Oh yeah, I get to work out with those guys hard.
Nice.
So, and I mean that's fine. Like, I'm in better shape during the winter than I am during the summer because in the winter I'm coaching wrestling, and in the summer I'm drinking beers and fishing and hanging out. So
I love that. Perfect. Yeah,
it doesn't work, with my shirt off, but it's all right. I'm okay with it as long as I could kind of sustain what I gained over or what I lost, I guess, which would be my beer gut over the winter,
Nice. Awesome. So what made you was it your parents? Was it your choice to do wrestling in second grade? Like, how did that come into play?
Well, I thought I was going to be in the WWF.
Yes.
So I remember getting that flyer in second grade, and then I show up to wrestling practice. I'm like, where's the ring?
Oh, that's why you wanted to do wrestling.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna, I jumped from the turnbuckle, and then I'm like, wait, what is this? This is not the wrestling I thought, and then from there, my parents brought me to wrestling clubs, and obviously I gotta attribute probably the most of my success to my parents because there are times where you don't want to go to. I mean, more times than not, you don't want to go when you're a little kid, and they're like, you're going. I'm like, no, I want to play with my friends. They're like, no, you're going to wrestling. You're going to a club. Like, you know, they have the rec program, but if you want to be any good, you got to go to a wrestling club.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember going to NJAC in Fairfield was the first club I went to. And there were some studs there, man. That club's responsible for a lot of All-Americans, a lot of state champions, a lot of state place winners. And that was like pretty much that and the Edge at the time were the two big clubs in North Jersey. So being that I grew up in Caldwell, Fairfield's like a neighboring town. It was easy to get to, and I was a little far from.
I mean, you're
Am I good?
fine. Yeah, you've been
right,
fine.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I didn't experience success right away in wrestling. My brother, who's like two grades younger than me, he did really well as a young kid, and I always had that chip on my shoulder. That, you know, my brother was doing better. He would win the tournaments place. I would lose, and that gives you motivation to get better, you know. And then by the end of my career, I was a state champ. You know, I finished my senior year undefeated, 33-0.
Nice.
And I was Caldwell's second state champ.
Did you say 33-0?
Yeah, my
Holy
senior
shit,
season.
good. That's fucking awesome.
33-0. Yep.
Yeah.
So that was a great experience. Caldwell is a great place to wrestle and to play any sports right now. They're doing great at football, basketball. The girl sports are always competitive, and when I was in high school, they had a great soccer team, softball team, and volleyball team. They were awesome studs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a great town and just great athletic program.
That's awesome.
I think actually the wrestling coach at Hackettstown for a long time was from Caldwell, Frank Rogers.
Yeah. He's, I coached a couple of his kids, and he lived in Caldwell and commuted to Hackettstown.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, we would wrestle them when we got down to sectionals and stuff.
Oh, no shit.
And it'd be funny because our kids would be wrestling against his team where he was the head coach. So
Yeah,
for
it must
him,
have been
he was torn.
Yeah.
I imagine he was torn.
For sure.
You know,
Must have been an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. But I bet I've been up to Hackettstown. It's
Cool.
far, man. It's far on 80. You know.
It is.
Well, you guys out there in Hackettstown, you guys are a bunch of farmers, dude. Like that, and I say that in a good way, not a derogatory. Like, you guys are fucking strong.
Yeah, outside of
farmer-wise.
Hackettstown is like
Yeah.
country.
for
Farms and shit.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you got a little bit of everything in that area.
Nice.
Yeah.
So going back to when you were 33-0, that's first of all, that's awesome. Like, how? Because to do 33-0, like, that's got to be a huge mental, right? So you prepare, you do everything you need to do in practice, but how did you stay mentally focused not to psych yourself out, right? Because you go into each match going, oh, well, I got a streak to defend. Or was that not your approach? Like,
I think anytime you're going into a match or something like that, you're always trying to win. So I in the back of my head, I knew I was undefeated, but my goal was to be a state champion anyway. So I wasn't trying to lose at any time. And I put enough pressure on myself. I don't think the win streak or the undefeated season was really relevant, as was my end goal to be a state champion.
awesome. Okay, so you're not even thinking about it. You're just, okay, here's my mission. Here's my objective, and now I'm going to go after it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no,
And the year before, right? So my junior year, I lost in what's called in the wrestling community the blood round. So that you're top 12 in the state. So that left a chip on my shoulder, being right there, almost able to, get on the podium, because I had never gotten on the podium. It's top 8, right? So I don't know if you guys how familiar you are with wrestling, but in wrestling, they have like districts, regions, then the state tournament. So top 3 in the districts go to the regions, and then now it's top 4. But when I was there, it's top 3 go to the states, and then your state tournament is 8 regions, all top 3 in their region. Compete in the state tournament down in Atlantic City.
Got it.
So the year before, I think I had like 2 losses going into the states, and then I fell short of my goal, right? So that's enough motivation. That pain you feel when you lose is more than enough motivation. I just had enough of losing.
And this was in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went on to wrestling college, at Johnson and Wells. And you know what's funny is when I tell people I'm a All-American in college, right? So All-American is like top 8 at a national tournament, right? So Division 1, 2, 3, junior college, NAIA. If you take top 8 at that tournament, you're considered an All-American.
Okay.
So I remember my first college tournament was the Ithaca tournament. I asked my coach, I'm like, Coach, how should I expect to do here? I mean, I'm a freshman, true freshman. How should I do? He's like, I think you should probably place top 3. I'm like, okay. And then I won the tournament. So
Nice.
So I was like, okay, I think I could get used to college wrestling.
Yeah.
And then, I had a great career at Johnson & Wales. It's a great program. They were ranked top 3 in the country all year today, with the same coaching staff as when I was there.
Nice.
So they got a great community, great family, and it's just a great Division III wrestling program.
That's awesome.
Awesome, yeah. What did you wrestle? Like, what was your weight class then?
I was kind of, well, first of all, you always cut weight. Like, if you want to be, I think, competitive, you have to cut a certain amount of weight. There's a certain amount of weight that you got to cut to be, like, whatever is optimal. So, like, what I try to tell my wrestlers is, like, wherever your optimal weight is. Like, because if you cut too much weight, then you feel like crap. And you're not going to perform well because you're sucking too much weight, right? We see it all the time in, like, UFC when guys cut down weight classes and stuff like that, and they're not the same fighter they were as they were at a weight class above. So my whole career, I always moved up weight classes, right? So in high school, I went like 119, 130, 140, 152. In college, I was 157 as a freshman and 165 my sophomore, junior year. I actually did not wrestle my senior year, which was crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I had placed at the national tournament 2 years prior to that. I was a 3-time national qualifier going into it. I had like over 100 wins in 3 years. And then my senior year, I'm like, Coach, I'm not wrestling.
Ready for a break.
Wait, just to take a break.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I was
nice.
burnt out.
Yeah.
That
All right,
point,
that's
you know?
smart. That's
And
smart.
he was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. I just want to be a normal kid." Like, because the season's so long. It goes from like October to March in college. So
Yeah,
that's a
long time.
That's a long time. So basically, when you get there, you're working out and then cutting weight, and then you see other kids partying. You're like, there's like a devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, just be a regular kid. Yeah, they're having so much more fun than you. But like, don't get me wrong, I regret it 100%.
Oh, really?
I should have wrestled my senior year.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Oh, you regret not wrestling?
Yeah.
What-
always gonna regret like something that you could have
sure,
done
yeah.
because I can't go back in time. So they always say like, you got an extra year of eligibility because in college you have 4 years of eligibility. So like, and the coach up there, he's like a wizard at like just putting together a solid roster and everything. He's like and putting it all together. He's like, yo, you could do it. He's like, you could come back at 30 years old and wrestle if you want to. And I'm like,
wait, you could now?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I don't know how, but he's like, you could do it. You have 1 year of eligibility. You go for your master's, and then you could go back and do it. Yeah,
I had no idea.
I'd have to leave my job for like a sabbatical or something like that.
Yeah.
But then, it's,
Would you'd have to wrestle other people your age, or
no, you'd be wrestling like 20-year-old college kids.
That's different too. That's a different level.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Imagine if we just see that though. And it's like 30,
It would be great. It'd be a great story.
Yeah,
would be,
36-year-old Steve Martell goes back to Johnson and Wales to wrestle. That'd be dope. But yeah, no, there's a huge difference. You could even see it in jiu-jitsu, man. When if you're older and you go with someone who's 20 years old, 21 years old, sometimes you'd be like, dude, why the hell can't I get anything? Or what the hell? And it's just because that pace, man, it's just different.
The pace is different, but old man strength's a real thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That is a real thing.
Shout out James Fox. But yo, legit. Right? Oh my God.
But so I got that old man strength creeping in now, so it's helping me out,
dude. You're like the hybrid though, because you're still young, but you got that strength.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh now? Because the reason why I asked you that question is I looked you up before, and I know you were 161, but you definitely, and you're in shape, but you definitely aren't 161.
Oh,
right?
no. I wasn't. The only time you're that weight class, the weight class was 165, by the way.
Oh, 165. Got it.
Damn it.
But,
Joe.
Yeah, I'm getting off 4 pounds.
but, how much I weigh right now, I'm like, I fluctuate between like 207 and 210.
Okay, yeah. No, that makes more sense.
So, you're only that weight in wrestling when you step on the scale. And
Okay.
as soon as you're, like done, as soon as you weigh in, you are chugging water, you're eating something small, and you're just hydrating. And you, like, put it this way: after I won in the semifinals of the state tournament, the next day is the final. I was 6 pounds over my weight with a 1 pound allowance from the day before. So I had to lose 6 pounds. So I couldn't even celebrate being in the state finals. I was on the boardwalk running and cutting weight so I could make weight. In the back of my head, I'm like, has anybody missed weight for the state tournament? For the finals of the state tournament? I'm like, they gotta give me a break here or something.
Yeah.
But I ended up making the weight, so it was okay.
Oh, nice. Damn.
That's the most bizarre thing to me is the amount of weight that it's possible to cut
Yeah.
in a short amount of time.
Yep.
There's different guys at Lobo that I know that have cut weight like dramatically, like 15 pounds in like a couple of days or some shit. I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah, no, you just cut out.
Yeah.
Like, you go the whole day without eating, and then you work out. And then as it comes closer to the weigh-in, you cut out water, and you just lose it by sweat. You
Yeah.
probably have about 5 pounds of sweat you could lose.
Okay.
And if you're more hydrated, it comes off easier. Once you are we call it sucked out. It's a lot harder to sweat, to even break a sweat is tough.
What's your mentality during that time period? You're like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head.
I mean, it's like,
Yeah, it sucks.
there's no good part about it.
That's the worst part about the sport.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like any, I guess, combat sport or like, because if you're competing in jiu-jitsu, I imagine you're cutting weight too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know, like I had one jiu-jitsu competition back. I forget how old I was. Probably like 28 years old. I started training, just like not even like I was a white belt, like no, like not even and I entered a tournament. I go in expert no-gi, right? So I had like 3 months of training. I go in expert no-gi, and then I go in blue belt, like division.
Yeah.
So this was at a Naga tournament in like, I remember it was on Halloween. It was in Edison. It was a while ago. And I won the blue belt division because I wrestled everybody as like 3 months. And then what did I do? Oh, I got DQ'd. Some guy put me in a triangle, and then I stood up. And I'm like, I got to get out of here, otherwise I'm gonna pass out. And I'm like, I didn't know any of the rules. I slammed the guy on the ground.
Oh shit!
And they were like, dude, that's it, DQ. I'm like, what? I'm like, it was that or pass out. And they're like, nah, that's not how you do it.
Yeah, that was fight or flight right there.
Oh, it was. Dude. And after I slammed, I'm like woozy, and then I got tapped out the next one with an arm bar, and my elbow hurt for months.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that wasn't a good experience, but it was, like, maybe I'll get back into that down the road.
Yeah, it's a lot of people some people like to compete, some people do jiu-jitsu just to train.
Yeah.
It's
I would. It just kind of never really aligns with my schedule. And I don't know.
You know what's funny though, because you say Naga. I read all the rules with Naga when I did it, and it was like, if you have any sort of wrestling, even 20 years ago, you cannot go novice. And it's like, it's funny to hear you go to the you can't, for sure. But it's like, you won the expert blue belt division. Like, that's fucking awesome.
No, it was not expert blue belt.
Oh, just the blue belt.
There was blue belt like in the gi, and then I did no gi. And
No,
that
the
was
expert. Got it. Sorry. Yeah. But still, winning. You think about this. People who are competing against you, not knowing your background as a blue belt, and then seeing you as a white belt, and then you destroy them, like, that's probably on them. That's gotta take a toll. But then if they found out after, they'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's crazy. What's the difference between wrestling mindset and jiu-jitsu mindset? I think I know the answer, but I want to hear from you, because when you see wrestlers, it's explosion, it's precision, it's I'm going to get you, I'm going to throw you, toss you. When you see jiu-jitsu, it's like you got that, but then you also just have, nah, it's okay, I'll pull guard and we'll just chill. So like, was that difficult for you when you made the transition?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still making that transition.
I'm sure.
You know, like wrestling is like 100% all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're stalling, it's like you're either like if you're wrestling in front of people, they're yelling at the ref, he's stalling. They're hitting the bleachers. They're getting on the ref, and
you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to stall.
Exactly. No, they frown upon it, and you're not going to get many fans if you stall. That's for sure. And in jiu-jitsu, it's not that you're stalling, but it's more like tactical, and yeah, I mean, I'm still acclimating to the jiu-jitsu mindset, but yeah, the wrestling mindset's like go go go, and jiu-jitsu is like, all right, let's play chess, you know, and that is where I want to get. I want to get that jiu-jitsu flow, which I definitely do not have, but whatever.
Hey, man, it'll come. No, you got to play your game, right? We were talking about it offline. Like, if your game is top game, pressure, takedown, pass, like that's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to always be barambolos and these roles, you know?
Yep.
No. How did you get to Pure? I want to hear that story. How, like, where's it? Because you said 28, right? So were you Pure the entire time?
Well, no, I wasn't at Pure when I was 20. I went there, I think I was like 30, 31. So my friend Rob Alex, who you guys know or have met, he's been my friend since like I think we met in like second grade.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
I at the time I had got talked into by my wrestling coach in college to go back at 31 years old and wrestle a returning national finalist as like an alumni weekend exhibition match. They do an alumni weekend every year, so that's how I got taught. Like I said yes, I'll do it, right? Like, you know, like don't have an ego now. Like I was like, dude, I think I could beat this guy. You know, like,
I fucking love
No
it.
shame, man.
I love it. I love it.
And so I'm like, I need to train. I got to get in shape because I know I can still wrestle, but the conditioning is going to be a problem. So I gotta go somewhere. So Rob was like, "Oh, come to Pure, and you know what? I think we had this conversation. We were drinking, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll go. You know, and it was like I don't know if it was I don't know what time it was. Like probably noon class, but you know when you're drinking noon, you know you're probably still hungover.
Yeah.
So I go there smelling like booze. The next day, and I'm like, all right, I could do this. And I enjoyed jiu-jitsu. I liked all the people at Pure. Everybody was so cool, very accepting. I knew nothing about jiu-jitsu for the most part. And then I've been there ever since, and it's been I enjoy going. I go when I can. Sometimes my schedule won't allow me to go and train as much as I want, so that's why I'm kind of. People are like, oh, last week a couple of people were like, oh, 2 days in a row. I'm like, yeah, I'm on a roll, dude. You know, like I'm trying to. I got to keep it up, you know. But so Rob brought me into Pure.
Cool, nice, yeah. No, that's damn. I don't think I've ever seen you two go, but I'm just thinking about it now. That would be an interesting match.
We
watch.
go.
Yeah.
We go all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. At least one roll every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And you also did judo as well.
Yep, judo. When the judo program was at Pure, that's what I got into. I mean, judo's awesome. It's so fun. Like judo is really fun because it's like throw or be thrown. Yeah. There's no hiding. It's just, you know, either you're gonna throw or you're gonna be thrown. And like sometimes you're so afraid of getting thrown. You're like, dude, no way.
But for real, sometimes if you get like someone who gets like, I don't know, Uchimata or Harai, I don't know like really the names, but if you just like a hip throw or over the shoulder throw, like that.
I'll never forget the first time Colton threw me.
No, explain it because for folks, Colton Brown is a Olympian judo.
Yeah.
So
it's not every day you get to work out with an Olympian.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
exactly.
dude, I don't care. I'm going with him, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, just survive, like survive, like in any way, like, cause you already know he knows what you're going to do or what you're attempting. So I just remember just like, like boom. And I'm like, wind partially knocked out of you,
Exactly. Flying through the air.
Yeah. You're like, wow, and, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's like, I survived. And
that's
let's
it.
go again.
Live for another day. That's the funny thing too, because judo, I was gonna say, I think it's probably one of the most vicious ones, right, of all the martial arts.
Oh, yeah.
Because literally, I don't think I've met a judo practitioner who has not been in some sort of pain, sort of injury, and they keep going. And it's like, it really, like, to do that, it takes a lot of mental fortitude.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's funny because you see like old men that were really good at wrestling and older guys that are good at, or did judo their whole lives, and they don't walk normal.
Oh no.
Right?
I can't imagine.
They're hunched. They're limping. God knows how many surgeries they've had.
Yep.
Yo, literally.
I'm like, dude, am I gonna look like that? I'm like, I hope not, but I probably will.
But you know
But
what?
I'll
though?
be all right with it.
I saw this really cool meme. It was like, there was two pencils, one that was used and one that wasn't used, and the one that wasn't used. No, seriously, this was actually perfect. It looked sharper, right? But it's like, it's easy to look sharp when you haven't done any work, right?
Absolutely.
But it's like, so okay, there's some sacrifice you got to do, but
That's
how
it,
much
man.
have you learned from it, right?
Oh my God, yeah. It's I probably wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like to do is get on the mat and like, all right, today, right? I ran I'm in a class, right? I'm a police officer, right? I'm in a training class for to be a PT instructor for the police academy, right? So they make you do all the runs that they make the recruits do.
Got it.
I ran 4 miles today, and I ran 3 miles yesterday. It was like a half hour that it took or whatever. I would much rather wrestle for like an hour straight than run.
That's incredible.
I can't, like, guys who do marathons or run and they enjoy it. I got a lot of respect for those guys because as soon as I start running, I want to stop.
Same.
Right? Like every step sucks.
Like 10 steps, you're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah, like, dude, I can't believe I volunteered for this. So I ran 4 miles today, and I'm like, like I just wanted to stop, man.
Yeah.
But you keep going, but
Well, yeah,
I don't like running.
No, but like, I think there's like a boredom factor to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so
That's
you're
it.
doing, because I would argue that being in a competitive wrestling match, probably you're exerting more energy. Not probably, you're definitely exerting more energy than running 4 miles, right?
I think so.
Yeah, but there's always something you got to do. Okay, I got to shoot. I got to change level. Boom, boom, this.
Yeah, your mind is occupied.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you're running, like, yeah, it's cool. Like, the worst, like, I used to run on the treadmill all the time. And, dude, after a while, I'd be, like, looking down. I'd be like, I got another minute and a half. And that minute and a half never freaking came. It was just boom, 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 boom. And it's just like, and you're like, and you're, like, sweating. But not when, jiu-jitsu, man, it's like,
Yeah.
unless you're getting mounted and then you look at the clock, you're like,
yeah.
I got 3 minutes and this dude's 2:40. Okay, this sucks. Yeah.
Treadmill minutes is the same minutes as microwave minutes. It's they're just different minutes.
Oh, they're long minutes. Man.
What's longer for you, treadmill minutes or a plank minute?
Oh, plank.
Yeah, plank. Yeah, fucking
plank
plank.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Plank and running. I feel like a bitch when I'm doing that.
You ever see that meme before where it's like a chick talking to their boyfriend or something and be like, that was only 1 minute. And he was like, you ever done a 1 minute plank?
That's great.
That was a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. That's so true. Awesome. You know what I just want to talk about too? I want to talk about your coaching, because we spoke about you as an athlete, as a competitor, and you alluded to before how it's a lot harder, a lot tougher to coach, right? So let's take us through that, because to be a coach is much more than to know, right, what to tell them to do. You said it yourself, to try to relate to these younger generation.
Yeah.
Was it like a shock at first when you first got on, and like or did you adjust right away? Did you just approach it?
I still feel like I'm learning how to be a good coach. Because even to this day, I mean, Caldwell, my school hasn't had anybody go as far as I went since I was there. Right?
Okay.
So I think I was the last region champion, and I think I'm the last guy to even reach the quarterfinals of the state tournament, which is you still don't place when you hit the quarterfinals. But that tells you because how tough of a state that New Jersey is in wrestling. Because in wrestling, you got like if you look at All Americans in college, you got like 3 states, right? You got California's really good, Pennsylvania is probably the best, and then you got New Jersey. And like think about how big California and Pennsylvania are, and then you have little New Jersey, and they're competing with these guys. So it's a tough state to be a good wrestler, because our quality of wrestling here is like one of the best in the country.
Wow.
Like if you have a wrestler from like Vermont, right? Because I went to school in New England, so like I'll use a New England school, because if I lost somebody from Vermont, I'd be really mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not the same quality, right? If you have a state champion from New Jersey and you have a state champion from Vermont, I would bet my whole pension house, everything, that the state champion from New Jersey would beat the state champion. You know, in most circumstances, unless you have a freak. You know, there are those outliers in those New England states that do compete, but as a whole, New Jersey's a really good wrestling state. So the mindset of coaching, I don't know if it's a mindset, but like it's every day is different, right? You're dealing with kids and their problems, right? Like, so school, like social life problems, home problems, and I'm an assistant coach, so the head coach has to deal with all that stuff. Thank God it's not me, because I don't want to deal with that stuff, because it's a lot. Every day is something new, and then it's like who's sick, who is saying they're sick and is not sick, who's injured, who's milking an injury, and because wrestling's a hard sport, so it's kind of on the kid and how they're raised. Because like I said, I attribute all my success, or the most of my success, to my parents forcing me to go to wrestling practice. Like I could give you the recipe or a schedule that you should follow. Are you going to follow it? I don't know. You know, like here's what I did. Do it. Tell me how you do. Yeah. But that's what it's, like I was going to school, and then after school, like if it's during the season, you go to wrestling practice. And then after wrestling practice, you have maybe like 2 hours, and then you're going to your club practice, and then you go home, go to bed, and at some point you got to figure out time to do homework.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So for me, I mean, homework definitely came second. Yeah.
Well, to get the level that you're competing,
it kind of has to.
Yeah, it has to.
But I think when you get that good, then you get the confidence that you're like, all right, maybe if I'm not as good at school, it will, like, I could wrestle in college. So then I had it set in my mind, like, all right, it don't matter if I get bad grades. I'm going to wrestle in college somewhere, right? But that's how I was thinking when I was in high school, and that's not how you should think, right? You should always get good grades. And I always tell my kids, like, get good grades. Like, dude, if you can get good grades, because that helps you in the long run and getting into colleges and stuff like that too. So, like, people think like if you win the states, you're like automatically going to get a full ride somewhere, right? But what they don't tell you is there's only 9.9 scholarships on the Division I program.
9.9.
Well, there's only 10 weight classes.
Holy crap.
So like, and they split the scholarships up, I guess, however they see fit or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Back to your original, like, what is the mindset? Like, I want to say that, like, you just got to be considerate of everybody's reason why they're wrestling, right? So some kids wrestle because they're just happy to be on the team, or some kids want to win a state title. They've been doing it their whole lives, and those are the kids that I really like to coach. Is the kids that are like all in, like, like. Kids that want to win a state title, because that's the mindset that I was in. Like I'm sitting in math class, I'm drawing up a bracket on how I'm going to win this tournament coming up and what I think the seeds are going to be. Nice. So
that's dedication. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it just consumes you.
Yeah,
and that's how you kind of have to be, right? So not that it's a problem, but like it's a very complex sport, right? You have to be in good shape. You have to be strong. You have to have good technique. You have to have good conditioning. You have to have like good mat awareness and sense and make good decisions out there when you're competing in the heat of the moment. You have to have like, good mat. We call it mat sense. Like what's the score, or like are you close to out of bounds? Maybe it's better to just get out of bounds, get a fresh start, stuff like that. There's so many things that go into it, and so I don't know if I answered your question.
No,
anyway.
no. You answered it perfectly. Basically, it's a situation by situation basis, right?
Every kid, and if you could get everybody on the same page, working to place in the States or like be region champ or something, you're gonna have a really good team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, and I think I want to say congratulations, because I saw a month ago, you posted something on your Instagram that you guys won, right? Or something that...
This year we made as a team, we made the sectional final.
Yeah.
We lost to Governor Livingston. They had a really good team, but we lost. Our dual meet record was 20-5, which was really good.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. And I think, I was saying it when during the season, I think I had like 9 freshmen and sophomores in my lineup. So
damn.
So we're gonna be good for a while.
Oh hell yeah!
For a little while, yeah. We're gonna be good.
That's awesome for them too, because that's
awesome.
a shock from them. They're coming up from
Oh,
middle school to high school.
Yeah,
and
we
for them to
overachieved
perform.
this year for sure.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, so
Hell
that was great. We brought 2 kids to Atlantic City. Nice. Would like to bring more next year, and and moving forward, like my goal is to get the kids wrestle in college. I think because we do as a program, we may not have that many state place winners, but at one time I think we had like 5 kids wrestling in college, and like that was awesome because like on Christmas break they come back and they work out with the guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So like it's just good, like because you did a good job at coaching if they went on to the next level and chose to wrestle in college, because wrestling in college is like very, very demanding. Like that's when it's like you got your social life, which is like pretty big in college, right? Like that's like a huge part of your college experience is like your social life.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
And then you got your school, and then you have a whole ton of time. Like if you don't manage your time, you're probably not going to be successful, because you could have all the athletic ability in the world and you could be really smart, but if you're partying every night and getting hammered every night and not going to class, you're not going to be very successful.
That's what I was interested about that, because in high school you said, okay, if I don't do so well in academics, I could still make it in college. And like you just said, in college you have no choice. They'll kick you off the team, right?
No, dude, they'll kick you out of school. I mean, you have to have a 2.0 GPA to just be eligible.
Okay.
So and the colleges do a good job at like study hall. Like they have mandatory study hall and stuff like that as a freshman. So you're going to mandatory study hall, and they try and get you into the routine of becoming like you're a student athlete, right?
For
so
sure.
Student comes first and then athlete comes second. So
yeah, for sure. Awesome. What were you gonna say?
No.
Oh no. Yeah, no. The one thing that always fascinated me when you can tell who the wrestlers. Like I went to Penn State, right?
Oh yeah.
And I would go to the bar.
They got a pretty good wrestling.
Oh yeah, pretty good. Sort of good, right? Yeah. Aren't they like number 1 or something?
Dude, they've been number 1 for like last 10, 12 years.
What was it?
Sort of good.
Sort of good.
Yeah.
Wasn't their coach like he never lost or something?
Yeah, Cale Sanderson didn't lose a college match.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
A 4-time national champion. I think one of like 5, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's the number. A guy did it this year. There were almost 2 guys that do it this year. I don't know if you guys watched the national tournament. It was on ESPN.
No, not this year. I was actually looking YouTube videos at, I think last year, the dude from 86 kilograms. He was part of the Nittany Lion Club. I think it's Dave something.
David Taylor.
Yes, maybe him. Yeah.
He actually wasn't a 4-timer. A kid from Cornell, Yanni, he won it 4 times this year. Spencer Lee was supposed to win it 4 times this year, but he lost in the semifinals, which shows you how tough of a tournament it is.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. I was talking about that with one of the guys at Pure, and he was like, "Oh, what'd you think of the state tournament?" I'm like, it was good. It was entertaining. I'm like, "What'd you think?" He's like, "No one's safe."
Oh, is it?
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, dude, it is like nobody's safe, dude.
Yeah.
No, because so
Like
this
anybody could beat anybody, and it just shows.
wasn't this the tournament where there's like a family that was so, and you may have just said it because I don't know the athletes, but there's a family who's like the mother was a judo like
Yeah, that's Lee. Yeah,
Lee,
Spencer
yeah,
Lee,
and he lost, right?
he lost in the
my
semis.
God,
Yeah. And then his mother broke her glass.
Yeah,
And showed on
I heard
ESPN, and
about
I'm like,
this,
dude,
yeah,
that's
dude.
so not right, bro.
No,
because when you have so much invested in a sport. Like nobody wants to see you at like your worst moment, you know. And then sure enough, ESPN right on national television, like, you know, like
they just give a shit about the ratings. That's all they care about.
And now there's all memes on it.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying like, oh my god, like how like why would you do that? It's like, dude, you ever try that hard and put your heart and soul in something and then fail? Like,
bro,
like you tell me how that feels and what you do after that.
Dude.
On the spot, and then put it on national television. Like, it's ridiculous.
I could not agree more,
Yeah,
dude.
like-
I could not agree more. Our society is the epitome
Yeah.
of armchair quarterbacking.
It-
Like
yeah,
no one understands shit and
Exactly.
just blames everything.
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck.
So yeah, I mean, with that situation, like, I mean, like, I don't know, why would you put that on national television?
No, why? And you know what? What does it matter too? Because what the mom did. Hey, guess what? You had two athletes. Okay, one was the freaking favorite, and one was the underdog. St. Given's Day. Sometimes the underdog wins, and guess what? The underdog in this case did everything he needed to do to win.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah,
There's really nothing. If you like divide it and you put it and you break it down, one person did more than the other. That's it.
That's why you play the game.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. You always play.
Yeah.
Always play the game, dude. Oh, jiu-jitsu is a freaking great thing, dude. Jiu-jitsu, you always play the game. Go with someone who's a higher belt level, more experienced. You play the game. You're gonna get your ass kicked, but you're gonna learn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yep. You win or you learn, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah. You win, you learn. I love that.
So how long you been training jiu-jitsu now?
I think it's like 5 years.
Okay.
Fuck, dude. I've had a couple. I think we've gone a couple of times. Yeah. It's everything, folks, that you would think it is. No, I've tried standing with you, and of course it just didn't work. But you know, that's what I love. I love like when people are good like wrestlers, right? I want to go with them because I want to see what it's like. I want to see how much better someone is, right? And I want to feel it. And yeah, dude, I don't know. That's why I love the sport. That's why
Yeah, I
love
mean,
the sport.
I don't. You tell me what it's like. Well, you just did, and that's your mindset. But I don't know if everybody has the same mindset as like, oh, I want to go with the wrestler.
Oh, no one does because they don't want to fucking get blast doubled. But guess what? You're going to get blast doubled. And you know what? The thing is, though, too, like, yeah, I'm making, I went with all. You're controlled, dude. You know,
yeah.
you know exactly
If
what
I
you're
hurt
doing.
somebody, which I haven't, I would feel terrible.
Exactly.
You know, like,
Yeah.
like, I would feel like I did something wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
No,
you
for
know?
sure.
Like,
What does Joe Campese say? You can't, don't break your toys. Like, you can't play with your broken toys, right? Like, it's saying
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. Like I respect the hell out of guys who will stand up with me though, because like I know most guys just come out and pull guard, and it's all right, you know. Like if that's what you want to do, but like you're not gonna do that in a street fight, so why would you do that on the mat?
Yes, exactly. That's why I think wrestling's awesome, dude. You're not gonna fucking drop to your back on pavement.
I would hope not, right? Like,
Yeah.
so and that's
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, hold on, let me pull guard. Yeah. And that's why we do it, right? You know, like, God forbid you have to actually do it in the street. You want to know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll tell you, jiu-jitsu has given me a ton more confidence because, like, now I'm going with, like, bigger guys who are more trained than me at, like, jiu-jitsu, which is what, like, you can kill somebody,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
what is it? It's like you're simulating murder. Is
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
is that
yeah,
it? Right?
yeah.
So like, if I know I can handle myself against somebody who's like, or at least like survive, right? Because there's guys out there with just jiu-jitsu who I know have never wrestled and they beat my ass or like, you know,
Technique.
take it to
Yeah,
me.
for sure.
And like, I'm like, dude, I want to get like that guy.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. For sure. What was it like? Have you ever seen that? It's on YouTube. oh no, why am I forgetting his name? Pat Downey versus Gordon Ryan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they do it. They do a thing. It's so basically what they did is Pat Downey and Gordon Ryan had a grappling match, and then they had I think it was Roman Greco, a wrestling match. And just to see it, it's like just to see the two arts in itself, right? Like you always want to learn, like you're learning. Like Pat couldn't beat Gordon, but then right when it went to wrestling, like Gordon was done, right?
Yeah.
But just to see those two getting out of their element, right? That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think Bo Nickel like had a jiu-jitsu match with Ryan too.
Okay, I didn't see that. I gotta look this up.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Obviously Gordon Ryan won. Like that's his game, right?
For sure.
You know, so
Yeah, you gotta respect it.
but just getting in there with like the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world, right? Is he considered like the best guy in the world? Or
He's definitely
He's one of
considered the
them?
GOAT. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. So for now, Bo Nickel's in the UFC,
Yep.
and I mean that's why you do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to go against the best guys.
Yeah, I feel like those guys too. Like at that point, and I think you could attest to this. It's even when you get out of your comfort zone, you go into something else. It's I got to now prove myself in this. I got to get better. There's so much I got to learn. So you get a wrestler that goes in, and a lot of wrestlers go into the UFC, and then when they go in there, they're probably like, "What the fuck?" Because they're not used to the striking. But hell, they're gonna find a way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I always root for the wrestlers when watching UFC.
Yeah, for sure, of course.
I'm a
Yeah,
little biased, but
yeah, no, for sure,
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Khabibs, right? Or that's Sambo, right?
Yeah, it could be. That's like no, they definitely wrestle over there, but
Yeah.
I don't even know what they do. But,
Yeah, it's
like it's
different.
freestyle wrestling, but whatever they're doing, it's working. So
Yeah, true. Oh yeah.
Yeah, over there's got to be another level.
I don't even know, bro. When they're hitting bears, I don't know.
yeah, they're disciplined for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're crushing beers and then going to wrestle.
No,
I think
definitely
they're
not.
only worried about
Exactly.
like the task at hand. You know.
Exactly.
But it's how you do it in life, man.
But,
You
like,
gotta
yeah,
go.
you gotta focus, man.
Exactly. Fuck. Hey, man, like that's what you said. That's why you took the year off, right? You wanted to do something else.
Yeah,
and no, there's
and I
nothing
had
wrong
fun,
with that.
but
There's nothing wrong with
it's-
that. No, for sure.
Yeah, I regret it. And the coaching staff up there, like Lonnie Morris, he was awesome. He's such a great coach. He's like somebody I look up to when like if I have a question about wrestling at all, I'm calling him on the phone. You know?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's cool that I have that relationship with him still, because if I went to another school, I don't know if I would have had that with my coach. So
Okay.
So the fact that I can I watched the Super Bowl with him this year, so I don't know if I went anywhere else, like I would have that relationship with the coach. So bouncing things off him helps me be a better coach.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the most winningest coach in New England, and then I'm sure he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So
Nice.
or if he's not already. So,
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he was like coach of the year this year for Division III. So
did he help you? Like, do you see a lot of the stuff that you took from your coaches when you're
I'll
coaching
steal
as
it
well?
right from
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think in any sport, like you do what the best do and emulate that.
Yeah.
Right. Like it could be jiu-jitsu, it could be football. Like what's winning at the highest levels? All right, let's do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steal like an artist. Yeah. Awesome. Do you take your competitive, because you're definitely, I would say you're competitive, right? You're a competitive individual. Do you take that when you're fishing as well, or no? Is that your time to just chill?
No, I'm competitive. It's like fishing's crazy because like you spend so much like time
Yeah.
and then money. It's freaking expensive,
Yeah.
So if you go out there and you don't catch fish, I'm like just like
Yeah.
my fiance would be like, what's wrong? I'm like, I didn't catch your fish. She's like, what? I'm like, dude, I was out there for 10 hours. I caught one fish.
Yeah.
That's tough. But you know what? It makes the days you catch like 50 so much more fun, because you appreciate it,
Yeah.
What kind of fishing do you do? River, ocean?
I like saltwater fishing.
Okay.
So,
So you're going out there then on the boat?
well, yeah, sometimes. But my family has a boat that my dad just bought, so he lets me run it, which
Nice.
I thank him for.
Nice.
Because that's how I got my sea time for my captain's license, and then I love fish. Like I guess when I was a kid, we would always go on vacation in like a beachy kind of like coastal area.
Got it.
And those, I remember going to like Montauk and being like a little kid, and then running out to the fishing boats, and like just thinking the fishing guys were like the coolest guys there. You know? And then that's something that I wanted to do. And then when I had enough money and like time to do it, I'm like, let's do this, you know? So I fished with a couple guys.
Nice.
My brother I always fish with, you know, he's like my first mate, and we have good vibes. And then another guy I work with, he just started a charter company.
Oh, cool.
no shit.
Misbehaving Fishing. So
All
fishing charters, I'll be his mate. So if you book him,
Nice. Where's it out of?
Woodbridge, which
Woodbridge.
you would not think Woodbridge is like a fishing town, but it's on the Arthur Kill where you could just shoot out in a Raritan Bay.
All right.
And then the striper fishing, man, I put the striper like I was fishing yesterday, and it's cool that I could like go at like 2:30 and fish for like 5 hours and then come back. You know, like where I don't have to go down the shore all the time.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and I put that that fishery up against like Cape Cod. We're talking about just for striped bass. Mm-hmm. Cape Cod, Montauk, all the best fishing areas. And dude, you would never think Raritan Bay, New Jersey is like lights out fishing.
Huh.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And when you say that you can just get out there, is it because I've been deep sea fishing only once, and to like get out, it was out of LBI, so I'm trying to get out of the bay and into.
So you probably went through the Barnegat Inlet.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So is that what you're saying? Is it's just a straight shot out, and you don't have to go through any of that?
Well, we're in the back of the bay, so it depends on where the fish are. So sometimes the fish may be biting in the back of the bay, or sometimes I'll have to go out by Sandy Hook and get it.
Okay,
and, you know, so that's a little more of a ride, but it's okay.
Yeah, I remember just when I was out there, we were going for sharks, so we went 30 miles, and dude, just to stand on the boat and just look at all 360 and not see land was a trip. It's a
little freaky, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a trip, but everyone was loving it. The captain, he was going out, right? And as he's going and he puts the boat in, I guess, autopilot, and he has to go to the bathroom, and I'm like thinking to myself, first of all, for me, it was the first time, and I didn't have an inside, so I'm hanging on to a boat that's boom, boom at night, 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just holding on, like trying to sleep. Didn't get any sleep.
Oh, okay.
But just to see, like, everyone else was chilling, having beers and shit. And I was like, dude, how the hell are you guys so calm? This boat's flying right now. Like, I can't. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a regular occurrence to crack a beer at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Or earlier. And you're like, no one's judging you. It's almost like when you're flying, like on an airplane, you know? Like, this is an airport beer. Like, it's like 8 a.m.
It's acceptable.
Like, it's acceptable. It's
all
like, dude,
all the bars are open. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
I don't care.
I fucking love that. Oh, that was great.
That's a great beer. That 7 a.m. beer.
Oh, hell
yeah. They don't come that often, but when they do, that's a great beer.
And you're just looking.
You know you're going to have a great day.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just looking down into the deep blue. But for striper bass, you're probably going, what, about a mile? Not even, right? A mile?
So it's an inshore species. So, you don't have to go out too far. Some guys get them from the beach or the bank. But I think if you want to catch them like how I want to catch them, which is like a lot and like big ones, like you kind of got to be on a boat.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So we got some questions. You know the question time about it, right?
Okay.
Let's happen to the question time because we got some good ones. So we're gonna fish in. The first one I read made me laugh because I feel like I'm interested in your answer. It's from one of your friends. Let's do it here. Boom. I'm good this time, dude. I know how to do it now. Yeah. He always makes fun of me for being a grandpa with Instagram.
Got the controls down.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Oh God, maybe I don't.
See?
Yes. All right, here it is. Boom, boom. No, oh, yeah, there it is. And we'll see all of them. All right, here we go. So your first one is from Call Sign Bill.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's Bill.
Yeah.
Bill Rogers.
And he is asking, which is...
I know there's going to be a good one because he's hysterical. So
okay,
I'm sure it'll be a good one.
He goes, which is better, hitting a double leg or catching a fish? And
oh, man, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Depends on the size of the fish. Or it depends on who you take down. You take down somebody good, you're like, hell yeah.
All right, so...
You catch a small fish, you're like,
fuck
see
that.
you later, bro.
All right, so catching, would you rather take down an Olympian with a double leg, blast double, all right, or catch a 500-pound tuna?
Oh, 500-pound tuna all day.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
shit.
Because if you take down an Olympian, like, you could have gotten lucky.
True, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You catch a big tuna like that.
Tuna,
like maybe you could have gotten lucky too, but like
no, but that's
you're
effort.
gonna eat well.
yeah.
For sure.
Fuck. That's awesome. Allison T9 _ What is the order of your athletic career from adolescent to adult? Oh, yeah. I guess you were wrestling to jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah. So wrestling to jiu-jitsu. I mean, I think that translates the best, right? Like that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, dude, you want to be good at jiu-jitsu? Wrestle.
Yeah. Hey, oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
But like, no, like, it just, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I think that jiu-jitsu or wrestling translates better into jiu-jitsu than jiu-jitsu does to wrestling.
Makes sense.
Just because I think, I mean, like, everybody I don't know what it's like to, like, everybody tells me, like, oh, you got great pressure. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Dude, it means
Can you
that
fill me in?
Yeah, it means that we can't breathe when you're on top of us, dude. But seriously, no. Do you know what it means? It means okay, so let's just say you take us down, right? You pass guard and side control. Now you have your side control, okay?
That's where I live.
Yeah, legit, and that's where the pressure comes in. Though.
Sadly, that's where I feel most comfortable.
No, or let's just say, so now you're in side control. You have all the proper. You're grabbing by the armpit. You're putting your shoulder in the person's face, right?
Yeah.
And you're blocking them from shrimping in to escape. Mm-hmm. That's the pressure.
That's pressure.
Your chest on their chest.
Okay.
That's the pressure.
All right.
And it's like, so I went with someone recently on Monday, right, at the pro training, and I'm pretty sure he was trying to let me work, but his pressure was so damn heavy that even when he was letting me work, I couldn't work. Like, that's what we mean by pressure. Like, you feel like a bag of wet sand or wet cement or like a wet blanket. That's the pressure.
Got it.
I don't know. Yeah. That's so I guess, but I agree with you though, because when you wrestle, when wrestlers come into jiu-jitsu, even if they don't know, they know shit, right? Let's just say they know how to take down, they know how to move. So it's always a freaking battle. You can't, like there's sometimes if someone's very new, you slap bump and you feel them out.
Yeah.
When you get a wrestler shooting, like if I know someone's a wrestler, I'm not taking them like first day, I'm not taking them easy. You got, they're going to fucking take you down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say that the wrestler appreciates that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, they're competitive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, you guys are vicious, but a good vicious.
I got a question for you. Do you notice the levels of wrestling?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely notice the wrestler, like the ones who can.
Because it's not all equal.
No, it's not. There's levels.
Yeah.
So
have you gone against like a wrestler? You're like, this guy ain't very good at wrestling.
So I won't say that they're not good at wrestling.
Oh, in your head.
No, in my head, like I may just I won't even say that in my head because I'm not a wrestler, but I'll be like, okay, this person who wrestles definitely is more experienced than this person. But I'm never gonna say like, oh, because I don't know what it means to not be a good wrestler because I was never one.
Yeah.
But like I'll be like, oh no, this guy, he's gonna fuck me up more than this guy, even though this guy's fucking me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's times where I know someone's about to change levels, blast double me. And I'll be like, okay, don't let him blast W. And next thing I know, I'm on the ground. Yeah. So it's like, all right, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels. There's absolute levels.
Yeah. Okay.
An example, actually, going back to Downey. I think it was Dave. Who was it? Dave Miller, the guy from Penn State? Dave Taylor. I was watching all these videos of Pat Downey beating the shit out of everyone. Yeah. And then I saw him go against Taylor, and Taylor teched him. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, there's levels. Like, just like jiu-jitsu, there's levels. Yeah. How about you? I mean, for sure, you definitely know, but like, do you see like a significant difference when you're going with someone in jiu-jitsu or judo where it's like, oh, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing, and this guy,
yeah, definitely. Like, I appreciate when I love when guys don't have a wrestling background and kick my ass.
Does that happen often?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say like that often. Mm-hmm. But like I remember the times that it does. I mean, all the black belts at Pure are
they're
so
incredible.
Good,
they're
they're
incredible.
so good. So
for sure.
I always feel good if I don't get submitted by one of the black belts.
Yeah, that's always dude. Sometimes I'll go on a roll, and it doesn't even have to be with a black belt. It's someone who I know can kick my ass. One day they'll submit me like 5 times, and then the next day, if I don't get submitted, but they absolutely dominate me, and I'm just like, oh, I won. It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't fucking win.
The thing is like, I wonder what they're letting me get away with too.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
What are you letting me get away with? So, I mean, it's cool is my future father-in-law is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I get to roll with him.
No
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he's definitely submitted me more times than I have gotten him. So.
No shit.
And he's 50. I don't know. He's like maybe 55. I don't know.
Yeah, but isn't that awesome how you can see athletes like combat athletes when they, because of what they did in the past, when they get older, they're not really older, right? Their body is still responding.
He's in better shape than me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it.
He lives a more disciplined lifestyle than I do, but he's in better shape than me.
Yeah,
100%. You know. So.
Love it. I fucking love it. Oh damn. Next question. Adrian, Steve, who was your toughest opponent in wrestling?
I remember two, and they were both national champions. One was Marcus Levesser. He wrestled for Augsburg. He was like Cale Sanderson, 4-time national champion, never lost a match. I wrestled him in a match. I lost 8-1 or something like that.
Damn.
And after that I was like, wow, that kid's good. And so he had never lost a match in college. I don't know at what level, but Division III, he was undefeated, 4-time national champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other guy would be when I was in high school as a freshman. I wrestled Joe Dubuque, who's now assistant coach at Princeton, and he was
Why does that name sound familiar?
a couple times state champion, and he ended up being a 2-time national champion in college for Indiana. So those were definitely the two guys that stick out in my mind. I'm like, I don't know if Joe, he was a senior. I was a freshman. I wrestled him twice that year. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to survive. It's like you're going with a black belt, so. So those are the guys.
That's interesting. That's always tough, man. And it's like a mental aspect too. This guy's, he's 4 years in there, right? Not that it means anything, but he's got 4 years experience.
I'm young for my grade, and I think he was 19. I was 14.
Yeah, no, dude, that's a completely different.
It's
big
like wrestling.
That's a big difference, yeah, for sure. Joe Farina, which art is the best? Which art is the best jiu-jitsu, wrestling or judo? And why is jiu-jitsu the best? I love it.
Why is jiu-jitsu the best?
Is it the best?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. If you're going into the UFC, I think, in my opinion, wrestling and boxing is your two best. Judo too is good because it's some submissions and then taking a guy down, right? So what do you how are you gonna get a guy down if you never train takedowns?
True.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Striking, but if the guy's same striking as you, I think I don't know. I'm biased though, so
yeah, no, for sure. So you got your answer there, Joe. And this is Adrian again. He's actually going to do a 3-parter. So this is going to be the next 2 questions are from Adrian. The first one, the next 4 actually. Wow, never mind. What is the best wrestling I'm actually really interested to hear this one for you. What is the best wrestling takedown for jiu-jitsu?
That is good. Whatever takedown you could get into side control. I think. So, if I shoot a blast double on you guys, or I'm probably gonna end up in full guard,
Yeah. Okay.
Unless I could sweep out your legs to the side. But the good guys at jiu-jitsu are so good at retaining guard.
Yeah.
That it's tough to get it off a double. I think. I think a single is the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most effective takedown in general is a single leg. That's the most high percentage.
Okay.
Rob, I showed him a low single, and he told me he's been hitting it on everybody. So I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh yeah, no.
Rob?
I know exactly. Rob,
Okay.
Rob, you've definitely hit this on me many, many times, and yes, it's effective as hell.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I showed it to him.
Every time. You know what the thing is though, Rob? Every time I try to take you down with a single leg, you just Uchimata me. No, literally,
Okay.
I think I'm like,
Yeah,
finally got
yeah.
me. Boom, I'm just fucking in the air.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good single, by the way. If it's the one I'm thinking of, where you literally, it's like a low blasting single, and you sort of just hug behind the leg, and then they just topple over, right? Something
You're shooting under the knee, right?
Yeah,
So
yep.
basically,
Yep.
head inside, like under the knee.
Yep.
Yeah. And you go misdirection on it. So like you fake to one side and like anticipating that the guy will pull his leg back, and then that other one is right there.
Awesome. All right. Good. Now I know not to pull the leg back. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's going to work or not, but.
He tried it on me the other day, didn't get it. But I knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's great. That's ballsy. I love that.
I'm not going to let him hit a move that I showed him on
exactly,
me.
right?
Yeah.
But you know he was trying to get that out of you.
And
Sure.
yeah.
I love it. How do I, this is Adrian again. How do I teach Donnie over here an ankle pick? And I'll include me in that because I want to learn how to ankle pick.
Ankle pick?
I don't know what that is.
I think getting the guy's head, like on a collar tie, getting that guy's head down and controlling his head, bringing it to the like ankle, or just getting pressure on the guy's head. And I mean, I think it's more like pulling the guy's head down than it is like picking an ankle.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I'm saying? Like if you get a guy's head down, it's a lot easier. Like that's half of the move. you know?
Yeah.
So I actually never really had a good ankle pick. I don't know if I've ever really hit an ankle pick on anybody.
I feel like the people with really, really good ankle picks are really good at fucking changing levels.
Oh yeah,
Like
so
their
it's a
knees.
level change. Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it's
man.
ridiculous.
I mean, that's the whole shot. Like that's a lot of all offense, singles, doubles is level change, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, level change.
We should. We need
we'll
to
go
roll
over it
video.
right
Yeah,
here.
right.
Right
In
out
the
the gate.
studio. Yeah. Oh god.
Smash the table.
I think you already answered this, but maybe just do a little recap. No, you definitely already answered this. How do you motivate your students? And I'm assuming he means your athletes.
How do I motivate them? I would say that just knowing like there's guys out there that want to beat you up, right? Like what more motivation do you need?
Sure.
Like you got like home matches, right? So I'm like, yo, these guys are coming into your gym.
Mm-hmm.
They want to beat your ass. Like this is our house, stuff like that. And then like, what do you want to get out of the sport? Like where do you want to go? What are your goals?
Yeah.
Like you got to beat guys to accomplish your goals. Unless your goals are to not be successful, then
Yeah, that's
you
true.
don't have to motivate anybody. But if you want to accomplish goals, that should be like I'll remind you what your goals are, but to accomplish goals.
Yeah, you gotta be self-motivated for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's really cool about that? What you said is these guys are coming into your gym to try to kick your ass. You know what's funny about combat sports? If you go basketball, right, or football. I played football, right?
Yeah.
Football's the same thing. Yeah, someone's trying to come to the field to kick our ass, but there's something interesting about wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, where the competitor who loses literally, it's like a primal instinct where you just got beaten by another human. And there's this other, I guess, feeling to it. It's like, even if you can try to take away your pride, we always say, oh, get rid of your pride.
Yeah.
No, there's some pride to it,
Yeah,
right? There's
yeah.
some pride to it. Because now you know the totem pole. And there's no problem with it. If you know where you're on the totem pole, cool. But it's like you don't want to be lower than someone, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you have a guy who's your weight coming in. Like I know I don't like being like I'll break it down. Like, so you let this guy who's your weight, your age, take you down, put you on your back, and hold you there in front of all your friends,
Yeah.
all your family, your girlfriend, your teachers. I mean, if that don't motivate
No,
you,
if
I
that
don't know
don't
what will,
motivate-
right? Like, you
Exactly.
want to go the next day to school, like, yo, I'm the man, dude. You see me pin that guy?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So,
Oh, that's fucking. Oh, that must suck though if you lose in front. And not that it's not embarrassing, but it just for someone's ego, especially in high school where everyone, the maturity levels differ. But if you have your girlfriend there, oh my god, that must.
yeah,
be
I mean, that's
something.
what's so great about the sport. You got no one else to blame but yourself.
True. Yeah.
Not only wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and,
Yeah.
any individual sport, like, boxing,
Absolutely.
Good
fighting,
point.
whatever. It's like, who am I going to blame?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it's such a great sport. And because in life, right, if you don't accomplish your goals or whatever, like you're going to blame somebody else, or
It's
you're
true.
going to man up and say, it's my fault.
Yep.
You know.
Isn't that something that would be amazing if our society just did?
Yeah.
Hey, I fucked up. Let me remediate. Or hey, I need to be better here. Or hey, I did this well. Let me keep doing that. But we just don't do that, and that's why I like wrestling.
Yeah.
Or anything combat related, because you literally, like you said, no one to blame but yourself.
That's it. It's just you, the other guy out there. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You,
crazy.
like in football, like there's 10 other guys out there.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Basketball, you got 4 other guys out there.
Yep.
You can, this guy missed a block, or this guy didn't get the rebound, or whatever. I don't know what you're gonna say about wrestling. You know, it's like, that didn't make it happen. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
You know,
The clock was going fast.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it wasn't.
I
bro.
wasn't
Yeah.
pinned. Like, dude, you were on your back though.
Yeah.
You know, like, you were close enough.
Yep. That's a good point.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Fuck. Awesome. Well, dude, bro, that was awesome. I learned a lot about you. You know, freaking, the competitor mindset though, to hear you speak it, and then to also when I'm like at class, the times we went, it definitely goes hand in hand, and I love that, dude. Thank you for sharing it.
Oh
yeah.
man, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
We'll have
Awesome.
to do a fishing trip one day.
Oh yeah,
I'm down.
We can do that.
Yeah,
ton
for
of
sure.
fun.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then me and you got to now go, because now you know how to ankle pick, and now I know how to ankle pick. So.
I heard it here on the show. I don't know if I know how to do it yet.
All right, so you got to coach us. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
So
I love back at Pure. I love when guys ask me questions about like, hey, like how do I do this or whatever,
Yeah.
on their feet. Like I'm always happy to help. Like, so anybody who goes to Pure, you just
Awesome.
feel free to come up and
Fuck
ask
yeah.
me. Like, you want to go over takedowns? I mean, that's kind of like where I feel the best.
Yeah.
You know, like don't ask me about anything. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, you
wrestling-
can
wrestling stuff,
like
yeah.
ask me how to do wrestling and
For sure.
jiu-jitsu. I'd be happy to answer that.
I actually have a question for you here, because this is something I'm struggling with, and I think I know the answer is going to be just doing it and practicing. But how do I get over the hesitation of changing level? Right. So I understand be on your feet. Just do it. Okay.
Just change levels. Like, do a stand drill. Like, so in wrestling, we do stand drills.
Okay.
So in that, it's like sprawl, level change, down block, shot, like, so it's almost like shadow boxing.
Okay.
So like get in your stance,
yeah.
which like you don't need like a super low stance, but like you get in that level change down. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Okay. Cool.
So
cool.
that's really it.
Yeah, I find myself, you know what really sucks is, and I don't know about you, Don, if this happens with you when you were rolling, but I'll try to do a move and I'll think about it, and the next thing I know, I'm on my ass because I just fucking hesitated, and it's just like, damn it, Dan.
Yeah. You like paralyze.
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, paralysis from analysis.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was like a term.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, though.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So do you have any final words from for our guests or anything, our audience? Or anything?
Tune in, follow this podcast. I mean, I love listening to you guys. Like, I think you, Joe Rogan, and a wrestling podcast are like the only ones I follow on Spotify.
Oh shit,
So,
yo,
like,
yo,
you're up there with like,
we're on the leaderboard.
yeah, that's it,
Brother,
man.
let's go.
So
We appreciate
yeah,
that, dude.
Yeah, I love you guys' take on everything and
Yeah.
what's going on in the world and everything like that.
Right on.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's good.
Hell yeah,
I think
man.
we got to do a refresh on a little bit of that stuff. One of these shows here.
What,
What's
on,
going on in the world? Little current event recap.
1000%, bro. I'm always down to talk shit,
Yeah.
in a good way.
That's what I like about it.
Exactly. You got to be real, man.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all. We're all real
Nobody
here,
wants
bro.
sugar coated.
Fuck that,
like,
dude.
but, like if we want like some fake stuff, we'll just watch the news, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yo, for
if you want some false information, you just turn on the
Exactly.
news.
Hey, man, I love that.
Well, appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having
That-
me.
It was a great time.
Awesome.
Cool.
So you're listening. We'll take it from here with Joe and Don.